There's one habit that is secretly ruining your gunfights in Siege, and this one habit is probably behind 90% of your deaths. And I'm not going to just help you find what that habit is, but I'm going to give you 5 crucial tips to help you win more gunfights and potentially double your KD come the end of this season. Number 1, fight win percentage. Over the next week, whenever you finish a gunfight in Siege, I want you to take a second after to ask yourself, what was the percent chance of me actually winning that gunfight? For example, let's say you swing the breach on Clubhouse and a player is on rappel. As a defender, your chance of winning that is probably about 20%. But let's say you wait for the guy on breach to enter the site and he hits a Fenrir trap. Then you peek him. Your chances have skyrocketed to about 90%. Being able to understand what your fight win percentage is going into the fight actually allow you to take fights at the right time and make the right decision. This is a much easier way when dying to realize what you actually did wrong, because a lot of the time when you die in Siege, you have a look at what you did wrong and you just can't think what is. But understanding your fight win percentage will allow you to realize exactly why you made a mistake, but also pick up on when you do something good as well so you can repeat it. This is the one thing when I started to understand it properly, I actually went from a 0.9 KD player to a positive KD player, as this one mistake kept making was holding me back, and that was peeking players who haven't even entered into the building. Often a player would breach something or they'd open up a window baiting for a free kill, and I would be that guy to peek it, probably having like a 10% chance of winning that gunfight. And when I finally understood that this was the one habit I was doing, it allowed me to fix it and my KD shot up massively. And that was actually the one habit holding me back from not just having a positive KD, but the habit that was holding me back from hitting champion rank in Siege. Now the goal of this is to be as brutally honest as possible, but also keep in mind, even with a 90% chance of winning a fight, there's always that 10% chance of losing. So providing you know that in 90% of situations you'd win that, it was a really good play to make. Number 2 is peeking. Peeking in Siege is one of the most important things when it comes to winning gunfights. And if you do it right, you're able to gather instant information on a player's position without fully committing or exposing your body. But here's a mistake I see all the time when it comes to making peeks. Often see people doing these crazy flicky jiggle peeks at a doorway, and that's what I always thought peeking was all about. And then I watched a lot of pros, like recently I've been watching a lot of Shaiko on Twitch, as well as some of the best players in the world, and I noticed something surprising, especially in rank 95% of the time. These top tier pros, they just use the simple peek where you just go out to the right and then back into the left. And it's so easy to do. All you have to do is hold D, then A after checking the corner. No wild flicks, no overcomplicated moves, and the reason why is because it works. If there was one flick in the game that was particularly more broken, everyone would be abusing the hell out of it, and the only way you would get kills would be by learning this peek. But the truth is, the classic peek where you just move out to the side and then back in is probably the best in the game, so make sure you're using it more to win gunfights. Number 3 is crosshair placement. Probably one of the biggest reasons I see so many players, especially in the higher ranks, lose gunfight. If you ever play against a really good player, you'll often find that it feels like their gun does double damage or think they have some sort of walls, but in reality, they've just mastered the art of crosshair placement and where to put their crosshairs, so it takes the smallest adjustment possible to not just hit their shot, but to hit a headshot. And crosshair placement, a lot of the time, isn't just as basic and simple as holding your gun at head level. It's the ability to adapt your crosshair to different scenarios and different sites. And this includes adjusting it for different terrain. Let's say, for example, on Oregon, you're peeking a player at the bed next to double window. No player will peek that standing up. So adjusting your crosshair when you peek round the corner of the door to crouch level will massively increase your chances of getting a headshot. And there's a really easy way to actually practice this crosshair placement, and all you have to do is go into a deathmatch game and start adjusting your crosshair placement based on what you know is coming up. So if you know a staircase is coming up, start moving it slightly higher to readjust. And if you know that there's a particular desk that people like to sit behind, make it slightly lower to more crouch level, and watch as you instantly start hitting more headshots and winning more gunfights. Number 4 is aim. Aim is important, but it's definitely something that isn't as important as you'd actually think it is. When it comes to winning gunfights, if you're smart and peak and make the right decisions all the time, you could have some of the most bang average aim in the world and still hit champion rank. But obviously, for 95% of players, this just isn't possible. You're going to make mistakes, and having really good aim actually allows you to get away with some terrible plays and will bail you out of some seriously bad gunfight situations. So it's definitely something we can't overlook. Let's start off with sensitivity. Stick to one sensitivity and don't change it. The amount of times I see players get online, hop in a game, and go, my sense feels off, or I'm not hitting my shots, and instantly result to changing their sense is actually insane. When we aim in Siege, or any game for that matter, if you have the ability to hit a shot, you will hit it. You shouldn't have to think about your aim, as when it comes to aiming, we rely on muscle memory and what we've learned over time to hit that shot. That way you can worry about other things like crosshair placement, or if he's going to peek crouch, or where he might rotate to instead. This is because aim is done with our subconscious side of our brain, meaning we technically do it on autopilot without even thinking. And every time you change your sense, you're technically deleting all those previous files you've built up over so many gunfights and starting again. To actually improve your aim and get better, just play a ton of freefall. Now, I see people all the time kicking off about freefall. They say things like, it's so unnatural, you're not going to get in gunfights like this in game. I promise you, if you play 1 to 3 freefalls a day, your aim will 2x the first day, and after a week, your aim will get 10 times better, as the way to actually improve your aim is to consistently get in fights. 50 gunfights in 5 minutes is going to be so much better for your aim than getting in 5 gunfights in 15 minutes like you would in a game. It's just about having that repetition of constantly needing to readjust and learning those patterns, as that's what aim really is. It's just learning the patterns to hit shots, so the more times you fight, the more patterns you've picked up of consistently doing the same adjustment over and over again, and you'll just naturally get better, and it'll make it so much easier for you to hit your shots when you're in game. And finally, number 5 is warming up. It might sound silly, but I don't think people understand how important just 5 to 10 minutes of warming up is when it comes to winning gunfights in Siege. And this can have a massive effect on the way you play, as well as the way you think too. I think it's something like 1 to 2 hours of playing ranked straight is how long it takes to warm up, to the same level as about 10 minutes of doing a proper warm up. It's not even just the time factor. If you load into your first couple of games and you're not warmed up, 1, you're going to miss more shots, 2, you'll lose gunfights you should usually probably win, and 3, what that does for your confidence that day is crazy. If you load into your first few games and you just get absolutely annihilated in every gunfight, including gunfights you probably should have won, you're instantly going to think, I'm playing awful today, there's no point in me playing, and you're just going to give up. So you're probably asking, how do I actually warm up? Now, there's 2 really easy ways you can get a warm up in. You can either, 1, go into shooting range and just go over to the bot section and just practice hitting the bots on different modes. Or the second one is to go into a free-fall game and just get into as many gunfights as possible. And do this until you feel like you're ready for a game. I actually recommend you do probably a bit of both out of choice and use free-fall as the test to see if you're ready for a ranked game. Sometimes I'll even play like 2 or 3 free falls in a row until I actually get warmed up, because that's how long it just took me till I get to my normal skill level. Now imagine I just queued into ranked game after ranked game, how long that would probably take me to warm up if it took me 60 to 90 gunfights to warm up in freefall. Anyways, if you found this video helpful, please take the time to tell me in the comments, and as a thank you, I'll respond to every single comment. And if you want to see more content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel.